Turn myself off. So Enoch is like, so, he set the course. He went to his room. That girl really threw him for a loop. What's her name? Jonna. and she's like, her name is Soji. And of course it's like Rafi's gotta be thinking, what is wrong with this hologram? I guess it just doesn't remember names, but it's it's like electronics. Why can't anyone? Okay. So then he's just like, I don't know why that would make any difference. Like, he knows that that's what happened, but he doesn't know why, because he can't remember anything, because some of his memory banks are wiped. And so he's like, just ask me about astronavigation. And she's like, I got just the thing, and shows him this picture of these circles, these 8 circles that she saw people on the Borg cube drawing. It was like, she scanned it and she saw that they were doing this, and she thought it might be something. And he says it's an octenary, and that's a system that's got like 8 parts to it, and he shows her one that's got 7, stars, and he shows her one that's got 7, and that it's very rare, and then he checks his data banks, and he finds that there is one in Romulan lore, and so maybe it can exist, and she's just like, oh, okay. And I like it because you see the wheels turning in her head, because she's putting things like, there's all of these things that are different mysteries, but then she's kind of realizing that these couple different mysteries she's got are all fitting together, and also maybe they're not. Maybe she's going crazy, because she's just like, I think I'm figuring it out, but I'm scared. Like, what is she? Or I'm worried or something. I can't remember what she said, but yeah, it was interesting. Then we are on the Borg cube. Narissa finds where all of her people have been slaughtered by Elnor and Seven. And she's finds the little business card, as I call it, that she had that had the Rangers thing on it, and she's like, he has a Confederate, and she pretty much knows who it is, because of all the Finnish Rangers, it's like,
how
7
many are
of 9.
Borg?
She's an ex-Borg, so it's pretty, it's pretty obvious which one it would have been. And then we see Elnor and Seven, and they're in like the Queen's cell, and he starts asking her all these questions, and she's just like, do you want me to answer the questions, or do you want me to do this? And she's like going through, swiping, looking at all like diagrams and charts and passenger lists and all that kind of stuff, trying to figure out what's going on, how many Borg are on board, and all that kind of thing. And try to say Borg on board like 10 times fast. Oh, wow. We've got Narissa, and her people are trying to figure out what they're going to do. She asks if maybe they could electrocute all the dormant Borg, or maybe gas them. I'm like, it's like, she's
sadistic.
Yes, like, all right, you be you, lady. Although don't, because it's going to be genocide or something. But
don't be you, because it's terrible.
Yeah, it's like, you do you, but then don't. And then one of the guys tells her that it seems like the cube is regenerating, and an interesting thing about that is when they show it regenerating, it looks like there's little bugs, and it reminds me on Doctor Who and some of the newer ones, they had these cyber mites, and I know that Rachel knows what that is because she is also a big Doctor Who fan, as we probably mentioned. And I don't know, that's sort of what they look like, but that's not exactly what they did. Anyway, that's fine. And it's cool, though, because they're, like, light up, and it's not like how you would see it regenerate before, where it was sort of like it would just sort of move itself back into place. So it's like maybe they assimilated someone else that had even better technology, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they like to keep the cube.
Or maybe even if it's just we finally get a close-up of the actual regeneration, which we never got before.
Oh, that's a good point, because it usually was sort of far away, and you could see things moving around, but...
You never knew exactly how it happened.
Yeah, good point. They decide the best way to just get rid of all of them is kind of like open up the corner of the cube and let them get sucked out. Like that's... They
all got airlocked.
Yeah, like I guess they were behind a shield or something because they didn't get sucked out. The Romulans.
Yeah, they obviously took precautions.
Yes, they did. And Narissa's like, I'm going to take care of the XBs. And, like, she takes somebody's gun and she's, you know, shooting them all up and everything.
Sadistic.
Yeah.
She was serious business.
Yeah, like, she ruined someone's gun, like, because she was shooting it so much. Like, it's not like a gun that needs bullets put in it. It's like a phaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Romulan disruptor.
Yes, disruptor. And it's like, I guess if you just hold down the trigger just too long, it just sort of melts in your hand. You know? Because it was all burned up and it didn't shoot anymore. And she tells the guy she broke his gun or something, and I thought that was funny.
And she needs a new one.
Yeah. Narissa's character is just, it's totally fine. Like, the worse that she seems as a person, it's more fun that she's really, like, creepy with her brother, because it's like, she is that, like, controlling and manipulative to people or something, you know, like, it just makes her seem like even worse of a person. So then all the bad things that she does, you know, like, it actually kind of works together for me, because
her character is really interesting, because she is so evil, but she's coming from a place where she believes what she's doing is good. It's just a really, really interesting character, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So then we're in, like, the commissary or something of Rios' ship, and Soji and Picard are sitting there. They're eating, and it looks like they're sitting at, like, those outdoor tables at Sonic. They're not red, they're black, but whatever. It's
they
a look.
are from Sonic.
I mean, it's a look, right?
It's a look. It's like they committed to this look. They're going with this look. Can I get a cherry limeade with the good ice, please?
I've never been to a Sonic.
Oh.
What? Oh, Sonic's so good.
Do they have them in California? Is that the problem?
There's a few of them, but not where I am.
Oh, you live in wine country. I forgot.
Yeah.
Too fancy for Sonic.
You need Sonic. You need Sonic onion rings, and you need Sonic cherry limeade. Yeah.
But what we do have is In-N-Out.
True.
I have had the In-N-Out. I have done that.
Anyway, back to our show. I just love getting off track. It's hilarious. So,
Fast Food Cast.
Yeah. Welcome to the Foodcast. So, like, it looks like she's eating, like, eggs and maybe bacon or something, because breakfast anytime is the best meal. Come on. Picard is like, oh, how's your meal? Would you rather have something else? And then we get this moment of, like, this conflict that's in Soji, because she's not sure if the things that she likes, or even, like, any of her thoughts, or if anything is actually her, or if all of that was programmed into her, and she's just having this crisis, and you feel so bad for her, because it's like, it's not just finding out your grandfather was a Nazi or something. It's like,
right.
It's like finding out that most of your life was just a production. And
maybe even your own thoughts are a lie.
Yeah.
You have no idea, like, if your opinions about things are even accurate, because you don't know, you have no life experience really to draw on.
Yeah. Picard tries to calm her down and tell her that she's got some memories that are valid, and, like, even the old ones make her who she is and all that, even if they weren't real. It's kind of a hard thing to, like, calm her down on, but you know, he tells her it's hard and he can't figure out, he wouldn't be able to understand it. And, you know, I was thinking at first that maybe he could have, you know, talked about how he had been a Borg and all this, but then no, maybe not. Maybe it's better that he didn't put himself in there because he's really trying to like help her and make her feel better and help her work through this, instead of just being like, well, here's what happened to me.
It would have been too on the nose, almost like too formulaic. I like that they held something back because he has had moments where he's had to sort of confront it, like when he first went to the Borg cube but like, I don't think it's the right time to have that conversation yet. And I think he's learning. I think him seeing Deanna Troi kind of helped reset him because I think he's been struggling through the whole series because it's like he keeps thinking about Data and wanting to do right by him. And it's like he keeps getting all these he keeps hitting like walls and he keeps people aren't like, it's not like he's like smooth, like like in Next Generation he was very smooth and like by the book and that sort of captain. It's like he's kind of like the wheels are off and we don't know where we're going. So yeah, I definitely thought that was good. I thought that was a good choice to make writing wise.
Yeah, for sure. He's trying not to Picard-splain, which is nice.
He's not Picard-splaining anymore.
I hate that there's only, 2 more episodes after this that I can use that.
My God.
And I'll never remember by the time the next season comes out.
We'll remind you, don't you worry.
Hey, you should make t-shirts that say Picard-splain.
Okay, I have so many things written down to make t-shirts.
Picard-splain.
We'll see. They're talking, and of course he brings up Data because he just can't help himself. They sort of talk about Data, and Soji asks if he loved Data. Gets kind of weird for a second because he's just like, maybe in my own way. Like, just say yes or no. I mean, it's fine. Then she, really goes about it sort of like in this sort of sweet way. She's just, well, how would he, knowing what he knew of you and what he thought, like, what do you think he would think about you and why all of this stuff, and you think that he probably loved you or whatever, and she's just trying to get it out of him, and it's so, like, nice the way she does it, and I think it kind of makes him feel better, and then in the end she says that Data really did love him and all this stuff, and it's just like, aw, because Data was one of his best friends. Even though he never
it was a really sweet moment.
Admit to having best friends anymore.
I thought it was a very sweet conversation, and the way it ended was just, she says that he did love you, and then like you get the wider shot of them just sitting in silence and eating, and that was just a really beautifully put together end to that scene.
Yeah,
and they're eating their onion rings
from Sonic.
We go back to Rafi, who is looking for Chris. She finds him, or so she thinks. She starts asking him questions, and then she's like, she starts to talk to him, and she starts asking him, wait, are you Chris? And he's just like, no, lassie, I'm not, or whatever, And he's got the Scottish accent. Yeah, I can't. I probably would need some more alcohol to do a Scottish accent.
I didn't tell you.
Yes.
This is not Outlander. There are no Sassenachs that have been in the making of this particular scene.
Oh.
I did think it was really nice that they had the engineer have a Scottish accent.
Oh yes, I didn't mention he's the EEH, so he's the emergency engineer hologram. Yes, and he's like Scotty. He's got a Scottish accent, but he's not actually Scottish.
He's not. I don't know if he's not Canadian either, like James Doohan was.
No. Santiago Cabrera. Because I've looked through all of these things. He was born in Venezuela, and Rebekah's not here to do everything with a Spanish accent and sound really cool. But he was born in Venezuela, but he's actually Chilean because his dad was like a emissary or something. But he lived in England for a long time, like when he was a kid, and grew up, and he went to college, school there, and everything. So that's why he can do pretty good accents for those
upper class British accent.
Yeah, the posh accent. I don't know. He should have had the Windsor accent.
Oh my god.
I can't. I'm laughing too hard. I can't do it, but
on this episode of The Crown in Space,
I mean, isn't that Doctor Who now that Matt Smith's
But